Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I'm Eliza here at the Hatfield Public Library and I have a really big box of adult fiction, but I'm going to start out real quick with just 5 DVDs that I want to get on the shelf. We have Thelma, and this is a woman on a mission. She gets conned by a phone scammer pretending to be her grandson and then teams up with an old friend and sets out on a wild adventure to get back what is hers. Sounds fun. We have Ex Humana, genuinely frightening. Renowned shaman, her prodigy, hired by a wealthy, enigmatic family, investigating the cause of supernatural illness. That does look scary. I don't usually watch scary movies, but look how the gap in the earth is also a face. Maybe I'll talk to someone who's watched it and find out just like the details of what kind of scary it is. We have The Gilded Age. This is the second season of this historical drama. We have Long Legs, Make a Monroe, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage in so many movies, very impressive. In pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues. And we have A Quiet Place Day 1. So there were I think 2 A Quiet Place movies, and then they were in a world, I think, where there are aliens and you have to be quiet all the time. And this is the backstory as to how that happened. Also, before we get to the fiction, we just have this local author has 3 books of poetry by Paula Sayward, Canticle of Light and Dark. Lovely colors, Garden of Things Lost, and What Sleeps Inside. I also they all go together so prettily. So we are really excited to have these on the shelf. Now, really, fiction. Starting with, of course, Danielle Steel, Triangle. Danielle Steel, writing so many books and writes them herself. It says on her website she writes till her fingers bleed. This one, a Paris gallery owner finds herself in danger when a mysterious man begins leaving her messages. Oh, we have a Freida McFadden, The Boyfriend. Is this a new one or just one? This might have just been one that oh no, it is. It says it's 2024. So, just super popular. I haven't read any of them, and she's one of those phenomenons that sort of came up and now everybody's reading them. A woman in New York City who has terrible luck in dating, then she hits the jackpot. Sounds like he might be a murderer. So, dating so hard. The Mighty Red, a new book by Louise Erdrich, the very renowned Louise Erdrich, known for her writing about Native American peoples. And this takes place in the Red River Valley of North Dakota. A wedding fraught with desire, jealousy, and uncertainty. Gosh, a lot of different characters. Yeah, I like how they're describing it, though. I think one of the things about her is she can be very funny, but also very sad and emotional. So very good writer. Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I think this is the second one in a series, but I don't think you have to read them all. I think they're just kind of just romance novels that you can read as ones off, and they all have these fun monochromatic covers. We have The Coven by Harper L. Woods. It says, "Death is not your end." Sort of interesting. I feel like this almost has a YA vibe to the cover, but it doesn't seem like it is. It's fantasy romance. Oh, involving witches and a woman raised to be a weapon of a revenge. A Cyclist's Guide to Crime and Croissants by Anne Claire. I love this, and we have a lot of cyclists here, so hopefully some of them like mysteries. So it's about a woman who moves to the south of France to start a bicycle tour company. Problem is, someone gets murdered. And that's definitely, I think, a cozy. Pearly Everlasting by Tammy Armstrong. Uh, hmm, hmm. Set during the Great Depression about a girl and a bear raised as sister and brother in a remote logging camp. Um, so it says loosely based on a true story steeped in rural folklore and superstition. So it sounds like it's maybe crossing the line between historical and supernatural, which is actually kind of the vibe I get from the cover. So that's good job. We have a Rebecca Yarros, The Last Letter. So her Fourth Wing series has just been like monumentally popular. And so this now we're just getting some of her paperbacks. This was written in 2019, but I think a lot of people want to go back and read it. And the popular series is fantasy, but this is not, it says a love story. Like Mother, Like Daughter by Kimberly McCreight. Definitely getting domestic thriller vibes. Um, Cleo, a student at NYU, arrives late for dinner at her childhood home in Brooklyn. She finds food burning, no sign of her mother, except for her mother's bloody shoe. And so sounds like trying to figure out what happened, and also that maybe her mother's life was more complicated. Another cozy. If you don't want those like scary complications, we have the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. This is like so on the nose for fall and like cozy mysteries. So Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved Pumpkin Spice Cafe in the small town of Dream Harbor. She jumps at the start to take it over, and of course, there's a local farmer causing trouble, and they clash. I'm sorry, I thought this was a cozy mystery. I said it was a cozy mystery, and now as I'm reading the back, I realize that no murder. Instead, it's a man and a woman in a small town who do not get along. Could not possibly be a romance, but definitely a romance. Another romance, we have Adam and Evie's Matchmaking Tour by Nora, Nguyen, and Two Stubborn Hearts, One Whirlwind Adventure. Um, So she's a poetry professor who gets fired and has been having an affair. Her whole life is a mess. More inheritances, convenient inheritances. In this case, she's going to inherit her aunt's house in San Francisco, but first she has to go on a prearranged matchmaking tour in Vietnam. And then it sounds like there's a man also on the tour who's a CEO with a chip on his shoulder. So that is just a perfect setup. Rachel Weiss's Group Chat by Lauren Appelbaum. The group chat is definitely one of these modern phenomenons where you end up stuck in it, and sometimes you're like learning things you don't want to know and you can't get out. So let's see. Rachel Weiss is stuck in a job she despises, has a bad luck with men. They always disappoint her. Now she's turning 30. But she has her amazing friends and their juicy group chat to keep her going. Uh, hmm. Sounds fun. That sounds maybe like there is a romance, but also like a lot of more like just stuff about her life. But I think there must be romance though, because it is like, yeah. Okay, 7 more books, including this one. We have A Reason to See You Again by Jami Attenberg, who wrote The Middle Steins, which I personally loved. And this is a novel of family, a troubled mother, and her 2 daughters over 40 years. And that's what The Middlesteins was, too. It was just like such a good family story. Oh, wait. I have 2 Christmas books, but I have a plan. I'm going to put them aside, and then I'm going to do a video with lots of Christmas romances and mysteries, all the Christmas novels together. So I'm going to save those. So now we have less books. We have The Book Swap by Tessa Bickers. And still reeling from a recent tragedy, Erin Connolly knows she needs to start living but has no idea how. She accidentally donates her favorite book, a heavily annotated copy of To Kill a Mockingbird, to a local community library, and then the book turns back up with fresh notes in the margins. Oh my gosh. So oh, look, I was going to say, is this a romance? Is it not a romance? But I think the fact that it's probably a romance. That's my guess. The cover reads romance. But I like that. It's a little less conventional setup. Small Rain by Garth Greenwell, who I'm not that familiar with. Very sparse, simple, but evocative cover. A poet is getting wrenching pain, ends up drawn into the dysfunctional American healthcare system. A searching, sweeping novel set on the furthest edges of human existence. There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak. Um, oh, I like this. They made it a little hard to read the name, but I like the vibe of the cover. And a story. Oh, more poetry. Wow. One lost poem, two great rivers, and three remarkable lives. Um, what? Oh my gosh. It sounds like, wait, oh no, okay. So there's different timelines. I thought one of the timelines was ancient Mesopotamia, but I don't think it is. I think that it's just the Epic of Gilgamesh plays a role in the story. Then maybe one of the timelines is Victorian London, one is 2014 Turkey, one is 2018 London, and yeah. So a lot going on, but sounds very interesting. Last of all, we have Playground by Richard Powers, who wrote the very popular Overstory, which was so thick. I was very impressed that so many people were reading it. And we definitely had patrons coming and telling us that they loved it. And it says, four lives are drawn together in a sweeping panoramic new novel from Richard Powers. Um, wow, a lot of different things are happening. um, wait, is this in the future? Is it in the future? It sounds like, oh my gosh. Okay. So it says 12-year-old Evie sinks to the bottom of a swimming pool in Montreal strapped to one of the world's first aqua lungs. Ina Ariota grows up in naval bases across the Pacific with art as her only home. Two polar opposites at an elite Chicago high school bond over a 3,000-year-old board game. And there's literature, there's an AI breakthrough, there's an island. It's set in the ocean. Wow, I don't really understand. I will be totally frank. I don't really understand what's going on in this book. But hey, I mean, you don't need to. Like, the cover is amazing. People like the author. The title is intriguing. So I say just go for it. And that was my last book. That's my really big box. I'll be back soon with more.